What's up, traders? Welcome back to another market outlook. For this market outlook, we're going to be covering from the 3rd of July to the 8th of July. All right, so we're going to be covering the setups, the areas that we're looking at, and our whole watch list that we're looking at for the week, and what pairs that we're looking at for the week, what type of trades we're looking at, longs or shorts, depending on the pair. If you want more information, whether it be on the mentorship, on our ebook, just talking to me in personal, whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments, or you could reach me on Instagram, Telegram, whichever is easier for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, starting off with DXY. And as for DXY, I've already covered DXY in the latest video. And why we predicted that this distribution right here, this supply zone right here, was going to fail on DXY. So if you haven't seen the last video, go ahead and look at that. We talked about momentum and why this price action was telling us that there was no type of sellers in this market. And as you guys know, for the past couple months, DXY has been on this bullish run with multiple just reaccumulations going. So this is not a surprise when we see this happening, okay? We haven't seen any big sellers get into this market yet, all right? So let me go ahead and cover the news real quick before I jump into all of the other pairs. Now, for this week, we do have a lot of news. Today was a bank holiday. We got a bank holiday going on today in the US. So I didn't trade today because of that. And we got a whole bunch of news for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's the big day. That's NFP. We're going to see a lot of movement, a lot of manipulation, a lot of volatility. And as you guys know, we don't trade the news itself. I mean, I don't really care about these numbers that's going on here. What I care about is the volatility. Okay, we want to trade the volatility. We don't want to try to predict what's going to actually happen with all these numbers. I could care less about the numbers. All right. So we actually do have FOMC this week as well on Wednesday. So that's going to be something interesting to see what happens there. And so just expect a lot of volatility this week. All right, just expect a lot of volatility. Make sure you are protecting your entries on these trades, because like I said, with news, with your broker, it doesn't matter what broker you have, you can still get manipulated. Doesn't matter where the entry's at, doesn't matter where the trade's at, you can still get manipulated. So you always want to protect your entries. Make sure you're at break even so you do not lose your winning trades. All right, I remember talking about your USD in like the last market outlook, where I told you guys I see no reason for your USD to go higher from here and not take out this low. As you guys know, I've been talking about this low right here that we just not taking out. So, and here it is. Okay, here it is right here. Essentially what happened here is this is going to be that redistribution. So essentially what we're going to look for now is we're just going to look for sales. I mean, since from this morning we had this high to this low, we had this little redistribution here. We had a little supply here created by London Open. So I was just going to be looking for sales within this area. But like I said, it was a bank holiday today, so I wasn't much interested. Now, when we come back in tomorrow, we can see if we want to validate this area. Maybe we'll go back up, test this area, make a new low, and then we'll take the entry off of that mitigation, right? Something like that. But we want to validate that this actually was the move that they wanted to do, because today was a bank holiday. So on your USD, I'm just going to be looking for sales to target right here. So in one of our latest videos, we talked about this area on GU. We talked about this distribution. We talked about why we were looking for sales here. All right, go watch those videos. I explain and I go in detail on why we was looking for sales here. So after that, what did we have? We had a redistribution here that essentially broke demand, right? So this right here was our little demand that we were technically looking for buys from. And you can see the market tried to accumulate here as well. The best supply zones are the ones that have accumulation, which means there were some type of buyers here, right? There was some type of buyers here, because you kind of see that we're creating this accumulation. You see we're creating this accumulation, which means there were some interest in institutions to buy this. What essentially happened? What happened was these buyers could not hold GU at this level, okay? Essentially, there was not enough buying pressure and sellers took over. All right, what that validates to us, once we see that buyers are trying to get into the market and they fail, then we know for a fact that this area has real supply. Essentially, this right here was our last manipulation. And simply, we're just looking for sales. Now, this morning, we got this distribution schematic. We got multiple drives towards the upside. We finally got our UTAD here, right? Change of character, and then your entry would have been off the UTAD. Whether you wanted to take the open, the 50%, I don't think we tagged the 80, but the open and the 50% of this huge manipulation would have been the best entry. That happened at the heart of New York, right? Right at New York Open, this happened. So this would have been a great play for today. And with this GU setup, I believe I had someone else that was looking at it in the Discord. I believe it was, yeah, here he is, Vince Stern. He was looking at it, and here it is right here. Same area, and then the same distribution I was just talking about. Pretty clean. He took the 50%. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically it. That was the trade for GU this morning. Okay, if you guys were trading during the bank holiday, this was probably the cleanest market today that I know of. Now, for re-entries, you're gonna have to follow the market cycle. Those in the mentorship know what I'm talking about. After a distribution, we have what? A redistribution. So once we get that redistribution, whether or not we come back to mitigate this entire distribution or not, once we get that redistribution, your redistribution is gonna be your next entry to go lower. Now, honestly, if you just want to take an entry off of this, what you could do is you can zone out this area here, which is your last manipulation, and you could take the 50% of that. Now, I would wait until we at least break this low right here, right? Because you can see this right here is kind of a reaccumulation, and we still have not invalidated that area yet. So once we break this low, that'll give me more confirmation to just take a limit order here. If not, then we'll just wait for that redistribution to occur, and then we'll take the sell from there. AU is kind of like the same thing. We're looking for sales. You guys can see we've been trying to sell this market down. Now, for those of you who were in the last market outlook, and actually pay attention to these market outlooks, right? I told you guys I was looking for us to come to the 50% of this manipulation right here. I told you guys we're looking for the rate of these highs, and look where the market tapped into, right? 50%, and we went down. So that was a great trade opportunity for you guys if you were able to go on lower time frame, or whether or not you tried to just take the 50% itself. That was a perfect trade right there. And from there, I mean, where have we moved? We've moved over 200, right? 200 pips. Now, the risk to reward on that depends on the amount of stop loss that you had for that trade. But now, looking for further continuations to the downside, because AU itself is bearish as well, and we're just seeing bearish price action. We're seeing sellers just continue to sell this. We haven't seen any reason to buy this. We have a redistribution here. This right here is our next supply zone. So I'm just going to wait for the market to build that schematic inside of this area. I'm going to wait for that sign of weakness. I'm going to wait for sellers to show themselves on lower time frame, and we're going to continue this down. Okay. Moving on to UJ. Now on UJ, honestly, I was looking for us to build a schematic on UJ. So if I zoom out a little bit more, you can see that this right here was just a huge manipulation towards the downside. And from this manipulation, we actually broke this high. So from there, what I got from here is this right here is my little order flow leg that I can play from. So essentially what I did was I measured out the 50% of this little manipulation to the downside. And since then, I've just been looking for buy opportunity inside of here. Now, I haven't gotten that yet. So I was hoping that we just build a schematic here. Maybe we get one more drive to the downside, and this will be my spring here. Tap into the 80 maybe, or just to manipulate these lows right here, because we haven't seen a manipulation yet. So that's what I've been waiting for. Until then, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens here. I have to see some type of buyer's interest. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen that liquidity grab, that manipulation. The accumulation has not been confirmed yet. So we're just waiting on UJ, but I am watching this like a hawk, because as you guys know, this market right here, it'll take off on you without saying a word. So you gotta watch it. So moving on to USEF. USEF is a pretty simple pair right now. We're seeing this overall accumulation that is occurring here. So essentially what I'm playing from is from this low to this high. This is my little order flow leg since we did break this high. The reason why this high is important is because this high right here was holding us to the downside, right? So essentially we were supposed to make a new low from here and we didn't, and we broke this high. After we broke this high, I knew this market was showing me a change of character. I knew something was going on to show us that buyers are kind of getting interested in this. Also, we do have accumulation down here. This is a reaccumulation. That's also market cycle that I'm seeing. And with this market cycle, that's telling me that buyers are interested in this pair. So essentially what I was looking for is I was looking for buys within this area. As you can see, we've already tapped inside of here. And I was not expecting this to happen today, like I said, because it was a big holiday. But seems like we got a lot of moves today. So essentially now, what I need to happen is I just need a reaccumulation, right? I need us to get some movement towards the downside, you know, raid some lows, get that manipulation, break a high, come back, and we go higher. Or if not a reaccumulation, then I need us to just take out this high so I can just take an entry from here and then we go higher. That's how I'm going to be playing this. So on USD CAD, it's a little bit different. As you guys can see, we have this low here and this high. This right here is the leg that I was playing within. So after we broke this low, that is a break of order flow, okay? That is a break of order flow. So what that tells me is now I have the opportunity to hedge, okay? I have the opportunity to hedge this back down to here. Even though we are bullish on UCAD, I still have that opportunity to hedge us back down into this area, okay? The reason why is because we did break order flow and I am seeing distribution. I am seeing sellers are interested in this area. Now, I still believe that, you know, UCAD could come down and then stop and go higher, but until it shows me that, I am going to sell it till we get down here, okay? Or until it shows me that buyers are getting back in. Now, moving on to Euro GBP. Now, this market has been a little bit choppy, but it's not choppy to the point where we can't trade it. Okay, we had this clean market cycle going on here, accumulation, reaccumulation, another reaccumulation. We're looking for buys here. We didn't get that confirmation. After that, we just rated all of this buying pressure from this market cycle. After we did that, we can see we obviously created a whole new leg towards the upside. So since then, what I'm waiting for is I'm either waiting for us to just accumulate, take out this high, and then we'll take an entry, or for us to just come back all the way down into this origin here that caused us to take out this high, okay? Inside of this area, we're going to be looking for that lower time frame and trying to buy this market higher. CAD CHF, another decently clean one. We have another market cycle. There's a fractal accumulation in here. We have a reaccumulation, and you can see this was the area that I was looking at this morning, but London session came in and mitigated already. So what I'm going to be waiting for is for us to come back down here into this area. Maybe we get a tiny accumulation to go towards the upside. That's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, I don't see us coming back down here now since we did mitigate this area. It's still a possibility for us to come back into this unfilled wick down here, but after mitigating this area, I don't see no reason for us to come back down here. I'm just going to be looking for buys on here because this is showing me a change of character. This is showing me a higher accumulation. As you guys can see, we have what, sudden climax, automatic rally, secondary test, UA, secondary test of phase B, spring here, and now we're just getting out of this spring. You can see we have this reaccumulation here. We probably is going to break this high soon. Once we break that high, that could possibly lead us back into this unfilled wick down here, okay? Maybe. Or we'll just continue mitigating and continue going up like that. But that is a possibility to get an entry on this. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a retracement on here, but just wait for that. Don't try to force yourself in this trade. I'm not going to be trying to catch this unless we come back into this area or come back down here, okay? Or unless we just create a clean reaccumulation like that. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for this market outlook. Those are the main pairs that I'm going to be looking at for the rest of this week. Be careful with the amount of volatility that's going on for this week, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.